Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back from the short break. I'm here in the studio with a very, very big Kobe fan. I mean, dressed in Kobe's, the one and only, Mr. Gordon. Gordon, you're telling me about the life
You
in
have to say
Bushcott.
shooter when you say
Okay,
my
Gordon the shooter.
yeah.
You're telling me about the life in Bushcott, about
Yeah.
the way Source inspired you. I mean, being next to the court and the whole community around Kamocha.
Yeah.
Was it Kamocha?
Yeah, that's Kamocha,
Bukoto.
Bukoto, Ntinda,
Yeah.
some bit of Kololo and Naguru.
So you used to bowlers were coming from all
Yeah,
those
all
places
that,
just to
that,
play at
that whole
Bushcourt.
place was even some. I think some would come from Chevando too,
Okay.
because I remember there was a guy called Newton. He would come from Chisasi. Newton, unfortunately, now he lost his mind, and every now and then we find him on the streets.
Right. You still find him on the
Yeah, I
streets
still
up to
find
today.
him today.
Are you guys doing anything to help him or something?
Well, people tried to help him, but it looked like it was hitting the dead end each time they tried to.
Yeah.
So I think somehow, somewhere, people gave up on him, and so you'd find him every day. Even today, you'll find him probably talking to himself, very smart,
Yeah.
as he always used to be. He'd always be the smartest guy on court. But well, what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's sad,
but
and it's
yeah,
sad, but we
yeah,
just pray it gets better.
yeah. But well, Bushcourt, Bushcourt was really, really amazing. And sometimes I remember the stories of Bushcourt, and I think, wow. There's this story. So this time I left home at about 3:30, and for some reason,
Was it in holidays or over the weekend?
holidays, because
Yeah.
as a boarding, Deji is a boarding school.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so for some reason, my mother, and okay, I was raised by parents from the old school, not like the old school, but the
Real old
old
school,
schools.
yes.
It's like my parents had been born in the 30s.
Books.
Books, and I was born from that period where a father was allowed to break your leg. As long as he could treat
I mean,
you.
that's the typical African parent.
The
Yeah.
typical African parent. Like,
Yeah.
so this one time I leave home. I think I had some chores to do. This is about S2, S3, I think. I had some chores to do, but I had the ball and I left with the guys.
That was so sad.
Sosen and his team, Sosen, Michael, Eddie, Bruce, Limada.
Yeah.
Yo. So I had the ball and I left. Now, I think my mom was, I think it pissed her off so bad. Eh?
Yeah.
She's like, where does this guy go every time? So I don't know who snitched where the coach was. And so she decided to take a walk,
Yeah.
and she passed by
You never
the
got
coach.
done with the house chores.
I didn't do the house chores. I just left. Yo. So she came to Bushcourt. Unfortunately, on the day that she came, there were guys smoking weed. And on the other side of the court, yeah, I told you Bushcourt would flood
Yes.
during the rainy season.
Yeah.
So you'd play half court.
Yeah.
Now, on the other side, the flooded side, guys that wasn't smoking weed. Like, they were not even basketballers.
Did mom know what weed was?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, just a cigarette was a
just
crime.
yeah, a cigarette was a crime.
Yeah.
So, yo, I mean, back in the day, even a French cat was a crime. Imagine a cigarette.
A French cat with a line inside.
So her evening walk, she walked and came to Bushcourt. Luckily for me, I was on court playing when she came.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice her. So there was a friend of mine, James. After they whooped us
Yeah.
that round,
It was
pick
like
up, your
Game
team goes
7,
off,
what?
the team goes off, another team comes on. The guy told me, yo, your mom was here.
You mean she came on the court and never distracted you?
She didn't distract me, she didn't call me out. She stood like a distance, but James saw her. He was on the other team. Yeah. When I went back home, I found like my bedroom had been turned inside out.
Looking for.
I think she was probably looking for a joint, a cigarette, anything. I think even if she had found an advert of a sportsman, yes, I would have lost my life. I went back home, my bedroom was You know, inside
Upside
out,
down,
like
yeah.
everything had been turned inside out. But luckily, she didn't find anything. I got a warning of a lifetime. If I ever, if I ever,
Was she speaking your language or English?
no, our language, of course. If I ever, just know I'm sending you back to the village.
I'm going to kill you. What?
No, she was going to send me back to the village. You know what my village is?
Who is that?
Gumisiriza. It's like 900 miles away. But okay, not 9. That's
Yeah.
exaggeration for effect. But Gumisiriza, where we come from.
Yeah.
She said she was going to send me there. I studied from there. If she ever found me smoking or just drinking any alcohol,
Yeah.
and like my bushcoat days, I always remember that James telling me, your mom was here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, I think we had a very good time at bushcoat. After some time, my brother bought me a ball, a leather ball.
Yeah. I mean, all this was happening when you're about how old?
This is 2001. That's 17.
Around 17. Huh?
Around 17. The 2001, that would be 17. Yeah, I think 17, 16, 17.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then that would then be transformed to when schools opened.
Yeah.
Then we would go to Ndeje.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's where the real shine came.
Before we go to Indeja, I mean, I'm still interested in Bushcoat. Bushcoat has really produced superstars. I mean, in Uganda basketball. I
Yeah.
remember there was Don,
Oh,
there's Ivan.
Tumuramye.
Yeah, Tumuramye.
Yeah,
There's also
yeah.
Paul MacGyver. Of course, they joined a little bit later. But
Yeah, Paul MacGyver was
Emma
way
Masaba.
after. Yeah.
All those guys. How was
Yeah.
Bushcoat as a family? They're actually one of the oldest basketball teams in the league.
Man, bushcoat, eh? It's funny because unlike back then the culture for many basketball courts.
Yeah.
Even if you'd go to Chitante, you'd go to YMCA, the culture was that young kids do not.
Yeah.
Like young kids, they
Come in the morning
They
or
were always
something.
abhorred. You come at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
You come and train at 6 a.m. But bushcoat, for some reason, if you came and you were a kid and you were ready to put in the fight,
Yeah.
those guys would let you play.
For real?
Yeah, they would let you play.
They were welcoming kids.
Yeah, I started playing at bushcoat when I was in S2.
Oh.
Yeah, so like they were welcoming as long as you were ready to put in the fight.
Yeah.
My first game, I played my very first game in my very first basketball professional game.
Yeah.
I was playing for bushcoat
In the league.
in the league.
Against
I
the
think
Blue
that's
Jackets. What?
2000. I think that's 2001. Thereabouts.
Yeah.
2000. And back then, UBA, Uganda Basketball Association, the team would come and pick players from there any day. Like
From the crowd?
If you didn't have it, you just bring guys as long as they put on their jersey.
No, first wait, I want to understand
Eh.
this. Like during a game, if players are not enough on a particular team, they get guys from the crowd.
You could, yeah. Because I wasn't on the list for bushcoat.
Are you serious?
They are playing for bushcoat. I was on the list. I just come
That
to
was
watch
at
the game.
YMCA?
YMCA, yeah. I just come to play. I just come to watch, sorry.
Yeah.
I just come to watch the game. And so, Jesus. So I was watching, and then these guys, there were three
Bushcoat players.
bushcoat players. I think there was Sosen. There was Sosen.
One of the Kayodo brothers.
No, not one of those guys were not there. There was, oh God, I forget, Abe. There was Sosen, there was Abe, and there was, what's his name? Is he Richard? Is it James? He's a coach at one of the Western schools in Fort Portal.
Who's that?
God, I forget his name. I think he was the coach of Nyakasura.
Brian. He
Brian.
used to be a referee.
That guy.
I saw him last year when I went to
Brian,
Fort Portal.
perfect,
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah.
There were three guys. Sosen, Abe,
And Brian.
Brian. Now, there was I and I think James, my friend,
Yeah.
that I spoke about earlier. But the guys who were on the list, there was only three of them. So Sosen is like, guys, man.
Come and play. This is an
We put on the
opportunity.
jersey, we had our sneakers, we put on the jersey.
So you mean the league was that unserious? Like they
bro.
never knew player names? What?
Yo, bro.
Someone actually told me, was it a funeral or something? I was talking to them and they were like, it was not a funeral, I think it was Becca Chambade. He told me they used to collect money to pay the referees from the crowd. Was that right?
Yo, I did not know about the deeper intricacies of that
Yeah.
period, but for my time, I can remember that game we were playing against Miracle.
Miracle with
Miracle.
the chiravos and
Do you
everything.
remember Chirabo?
Properly. At least I saw pics of him
The
and
guy was
stuff.
like a rhino. Man,
So they picked you from the crowd to play
pick
against
me
the
from the
chiravos.
crowd, they make 5 people, we start the game.
Massacre. Were you scared? Were you nervous? Were you happy
No,
to?
I was happy. I was like, what? I'm playing a professional game? Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
So I get on court. Those guys molested us. Okay, they beat us. I think the score was 99-16.
Wow.
I'll never forget that score. 99-16. Chirabo.
With all his muscles on you
With all
and
his
stuff.
muscles, that guy didn't care.
Just knocking you.
Let me tell you, like before just after the game,
Yeah.
I went back home, bruised.
And mommy was waiting for you.
My mom collected anything basketball in the house.
After that day.
When I went back home, with my scars and what, anything. She was kawa. She treated me iodine. Of course, she gave me iodine. She wasn't about to give me simple things.
Yeah.
I needed to face my pain. Iodine. Then she took anything basketball from me.
Forever.
Anything basketball, she took away. But meanwhile, Chirawa, when the game ended, the guy bought me, you remember that was the period, those big bindazi. He bought me a big chindazi and the safi.
There's actually a player on the Miracle team back then who was called Chindazi. Ivan Majika.
I don't know if you say your shit alone.
That was his nickname.
I don't know your stuff.
So that Chindazi thing came from Miracle.
It's okay, you slander the guy yourself.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
So the guy took you to
Who
the
was called
canteen.
Chindazi?
Ivan. With all his muscles.
I'm sure the guy would eat like 90 of them in the city.
That was his ritual before he game. He has to eat those Chindazis.
That's so new, man.
So wait, first tell us. So after Chirabo punched you, I'm very sure he punched you.
Which Chirabo, like you, let me tell you, those guys beat us so badly.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Sosen was not injured.
Sosen was a bad man.
No, Sosen was their guy, man. So ask the young kids, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, I went back home. My mom nursed me, and then she took everything basketball. But what I remember most is that Chirabo bought me a safi. Do you remember the safis?
Yeah.
Like a safi and a
small
chindazi.
one. Yeah.
Like, this is how basketball is, man.
So he felt sorry.
The guy just like, man, he was like, Chirabo outside basketball
Was a
he
good
was
guy.
Such a good guy. Such a good guy. Then you get on court, and it's like you're playing against Godzilla.
Yeah, I think that's the member mentality.
Like
Stephen O'More, that's how they all used to play.
bro, Chirabo was playing to kill you. Member mentality is, I'm playing to win.
Yes, to win.
Chirabo was playing to kill, like
to hurt you, scare you.
Like, maybe let's break one of these guys' legs, then there are 3,
Yeah.
and win the game. We don't have to stop. Meanwhile, he's doing this, and the score is like 55-2.
So anyway, so basketball was that different those days. I mean, these days you go to the league, scores are balanced. I mean, 40-something, 50-something. I mean, okay, I'll give you an example. City Oil taking on, I don't know the bad teams right now. City Oil taking on one of.
Res Life, like.
Okay, let's say Res Life.
yeah.
I'm very, very sure by third
Res
quarter.
Life will beat City Oil by like 20.
Let us be realistic. I'm trying to
So what
relate.
I saying? What I saying?
I'm trying to relate like.
So no. Well, what I say?
I already said anything. Please don't distract me. I'm going to relate.
So no. I need to understand. So you're saying?
Okay, I'm just trying to relate.
So I said Res Life will beat City Oil by like.
No.
20. You're
I'm just
saying?
giving you an example. Fourth quarter basketball. I'm very sure the scores will be City Oil maybe like 40, Res Life like 50. I mean a balanced score. That's
Okay,
if it is to happen.
Yeah.
Back then.
That makes sense now.
Back then, the scores used to be 50-something on like 2.
Bro, by the time the guys beat us 99-16, What do you think the scores were?
How good were those guys back then?
Hey, Miracle was.
Okay, generally, like back then, how good were those
Hey,
players?
those guys were amazing. Miracle, Falcons. Hey, those guys were.
They were students of the game or something.
Those guys were awesome. Those guys were awesome. I remember there was a game I was supposed to play against Falcon. Then Jackson Chikonyogo, you know him?
Jackson, the big guy.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw.
Back then he wasn't.
Wasn't sharing or
No,
something.
he was in Falcons.
Wow,
He
I
has
had
like
no
two
idea.
championships with Falcons.
I had no idea. Yet I'm a Falcon great.
Can you imagine? No, you're not then. If you don't know Jackson Chikonyogo,
Of course,
then
I know Jackson.
I'm disappointed.
So
It is sad. But okay.
uh-huh.
Was supposed to play, and Jackson was from Deje.
he was small by then.
Yeah, even he was small. He was from Deje, and I remember there was a story when we went at Deje, they would say, you know, schools have like one hoop this side is higher,
Yeah, and the other is
longer
low.
than the other. Jackson is the only guy who can dunk on that hoop.
Jackson dunking? No, that's a lie. Okay, anyway, not disrespect to Jackson, but the Jackson I saw was, I think like 100 kgs plus. That's the Jackson I saw.
I think you're respecting him a lot. He was like 180 or something.
I used to dunk with at 180.
No, before he became an
Okay,
elephant.
okay.
Now he's, before he became an elephant, he was
He was
yeah,
there.
he was in
was in
shape.
shape, yeah.
He was in good shape, yeah.
Okay,
He was in good shape. He was in sportsman-like shape.
yeah.
Yeah, and he was a superstar in Deje. But well, Bushcoat had such a very profound touch on me with basketball, because you know you get holidays and then so you come to a place, you come from Deje where S2 guy, S1 guy, you can't play.
Yeah,
Then you go to Bushcoat and guys are like, come.
yeah.
So now you go back to Ndeje and you've harnessed your skills.
Yeah,
You're better now. Guys are like, hey, come.
yeah.
Now you can play.
So what was the tradition at Bushcoat? I mean, most basketball courts here in what, Kampala, okay, even in Gulu, I don't want to focus on Kampala only. There's no more practice. I mean, you don't become good unless you go through a certain routine. Was it just pick up at Bushcoat or something? I mean, is there anyone from Bushcoat who really helped try to develop you when they saw you and realized you had potential?
Like I told you, like Bushcoat, the times that I was there.
Any particular individual?
Well, like
Apart
I said,
from Source.
Apart from Source, there was Michael. But Michael, we failed to bond with Michael because
The age difference or something?
no, it wasn't an age difference, but Mike had such a hard dribble.
What do you mean hard?
Like, if you
it
dare
was
to put your ball,
Ivan Inabu.
if you dare to put your hands, like try to steal his ball,
Are you
and you don't
serious?
get it.
That's the hard dribble you're talking about?
Yeah, no, chill. Not like
I thought the
handles.
sauce and everything.
No.
Mm.
Like he had such a hard, and he wanted you to match his hardness,
Yeah.
pound for pound. Like
Stephen Omoy.
the guy would. If you didn't match up, then it was like, man,
Yeah.
Sissy, don't you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
And he was a friend. He was a brother to a friend of mine.
yeah.
So he couldn't avoid me because then school you're staying on the same street, so you're sharing not DVDs, what VHS? Was it
Yeah,
VHS?
tapes, huh?
Those tapes, movie tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd go to his place, get from my place, take to him. Our friendship was more than just basketball.
Then basketball, yeah.
So he
Like
tried to
family.
train me a bit, but I think we failed to, because I wanted more of the soft skills.
Yeah,
I need to
software.
I need to be able to beat this guy, but he's like, no, you can't beat him if your dribble is like
Yeah.
a woman.
Yeah. My God.
Yeah, so, but Michael and Sosen, but mostly Sosen.
So credit to Bushcoat for,
Bushcoat, yeah, for me, my basketball, Bushcoat.
wow.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to get into another break. I'm very, very excited you're in the studio tonight. Of course, Cooper Chimney for letting this happen. Gordon, we'll see you later on, I
I
guess.
can't even smell it.
Yeah, the
Butter
food.
chicken.
Anyway, we'll see you after the break. Please stay tuned.